it away, Angel, because I have no idea what we're talking about today.
Okay, so Dr. Jerry is talking about psychological rest, which sounds like you might need some. Tell us what that means, Dr. Jerry.
Yeah, because I was, so many people are like so exhausted, so tired. So we were talking about rest today, and a lot of people are having insomnia. Do you realize that? This person cannot sleep, that person cannot sleep, that person cannot sleep the entire night.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, what's going on with everyone? And we thought that with all the COVID restrictions relaxed, it would have been better. But apparently not. So today, that's why we're talking about resting properly.
Right. Also, the mind is such a powerful thing. Some people are just so drained, right, from thinking so much, from perhaps maybe having their emotions tested on a daily basis, to the point they can't get to sleep at night.
Because their mind is still running.
Yes.
Yeah.
But do you think for these people, if they tire themselves out physically, it'll help them to sleep or not? What do you think,
It
Dr.
is
Jerry?
a combination of so many different things. It's not just tiring the body, but pinpointing what we actually require, because sometimes it is physical exhaustion, sometimes it's mental exhaustion. So you're talking about mental exhaustion, and it's interesting because just now you said 5 days of golf and your body isn't battered.
Yes.
Interesting, isn't it? But sometimes you play one round of golf on a very tough day and you're like smashed.
Right.
But what you're talking about now is rest for the mind, not so much the body. Because, even though the body can be tired, you still may not be able to fall asleep.
Mind, body, and soul. So actually everything is integrated.
Okay.
Okay. The reason why I brought that
Yeah.
up is because, Dr. Jerry was talking about sleep, right?
Yeah.
So, I've tested myself, over the years, and so I don't take afternoon naps anymore because when I do, I find it very hard to sleep at night.
Yeah.
So right now I have no problem sleeping. I was just telling them, right, I put my head down. 30 seconds later, I'm out.
So cute. Glenn is like a little child. You know how you don't let the children nap during the day so that they can sleep better at night? That's exactly what he's like.
And I don't let myself nap.
See?
Sometimes I'm outside in the afternoon, right? I'm just in front of the TV after coming back from whatever. And I'm sitting there and my eyes are closing. Yeah, my eyes are closing. And Jean's going like, get in the room and go take a nap. I'm like, no.
See, he's like a child.
I can't.
Mommy, I don't want to
If not,
nap
I can't
today.
sleep. I can't sleep at night.
I'm going to miss all the great stuff that happens when I sleep, so I'm not going to take a nap.
Make him run around.
He's like a little boy.
Okay, anyway, we'll continue to talk to Jerry live on the Big Show TV. Okay, in the meantime, here's...
Okay, all right. So, Dr. Jerry, tell us more about the benefits of
so
psychological rest and...
Yeah, Glenn was talking about sleeping, not taking naps. And I'm going to throw out, is rest only about sleeping? Because that's what people always think, right? Rest is sleeping, but rest is not sleeping. So Glenn nicely illustrated for us that maybe he didn't need a nap. Maybe he needed something else. So there's 7 types of rest. Are you ready?
Wow.
We are ready.
7 types of rest.
7
Okay.
types of rest. So you have your physical rest. And physical rest is not just sleeping. It can be just letting your body just lie there, do nothing. Imagine just by the pool, reading your book, doing nothing.
That's what Glenn did yesterday during your massage.
Yes.
That's your physical rest. Right?
Nice.
There you go. Physical rest. Okay.
So that is passive. So physical rest has passive and active. So passive, not doing anything, just really chilling out. And then you have your active rest.
Like burpees.
Like burpees, no.
Burpees is
What?
active rest. Active rest like burpees.
No.
No, no.
Working out, no.
Ew, nobody likes burpees.
I love burpees. They're the best workout ever.
So what is active physical rest then?
It's getting your body in motion, moving, and a lot of times, I think during the whole COVID period where everybody was at home and very stagnant, that was the rest that we encouraged people to do, to go out, to have some movement, whether it's gentle movement, the yoga, the walking, non-intensive exercises.
So something that doesn't stress you out. So it could be something like a swim or playing
A
football.
gentle one.
Oh, okay.
Like a walk.
Yeah.
Like a walk. Okay. All right.
Yeah, not even
Yeah.
football.
Not
Because
even
football
football.
wouldn't
Football
be.
is high,
Yeah.
Yeah.
intensity, man.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
And
Okay.
it can also be, right, a friendly game that is non-intensive, that doesn't break your bones or anything like that.
Monopoly.
Something like what Glenn did the
What?
last 5 days.
Golf.
Playing golf.
Golf is
Wow.
intense, eh?
No, golf.
It
Oh.
is intense, but it's active rest. He's not just lying around doing nothing. He's moving around. He's enjoying himself. It's not something that is draining him, like taking
That's
away
true,
all his
actually.
brain cells.
That's true.
So is the
Having
Having a
key?
few
Brain
beers
cells.
on the course. Yeah, yeah.
So is the key here to enjoy
Oh,
that?
beer on the spot.
Of course you did.
Oh yeah.
Beer and more.
Don't get him started.
So Dr. Jerry, is the key here to enjoy that active physical activity?
You should enjoy your rest. It can't be miserable on a rest, right?
Okay.
It's not to torture yourself also.
Okay.
Okay, so
I think
passive.
this is a good lesson for many people, because some people, they don't know. They don't know how to relax.
Take a break, yeah.
No fault of theirs, right? But because they've got so many responsibilities in their lives,
Yeah.
it's hard for them to take a breather. So I hope this morning's session helps these individuals out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, Dr. Jerry, go on.
No worries. And today, if they're tuning in this morning, they're having a break, and it's awesome.
Okay, they've got an hour's break with us. All right, what other types of
Yes.
rest are there?
Mental break. I think Glenn was talking about the brain that cannot switch off. It goes on and on and on, and we wake up in the morning and we are like, Shinkansen train all the way until we sleep. But it doesn't mean that the engine can be turned off when we touch our pillow. Because if you are pumping adrenaline the entire day throughout the day in your body, your brain cannot stop.
Okay.
So a simple solution for this is, to take a small break every couple of hours. Just a really small one. It doesn't have to be an hour long. It can be 5-10 minutes, just permitting yourself to drink a coffee coffee is a stimulant. It's my beverage of choice.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
For all of us. Except Shalini. Shalini doesn't take coffee. Shalini, you take tea. Do you take tea?
She
Oh, no,
doesn't
no
take
caffeine.
Milo. She likes
No
her Milo.
caffeine at all. Come.
Milo and hot chocolate.
Milo and
hot chocolate sounds good. Sounds
Hot
good.
chocolate also has caffeine inside, Shalini.
Really?
Oh, dun dun dun.
I had no idea.
So now you can drink coffee because you have been.
Did you know that, Angel?
No,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had no
Chocolate.
idea.
Why?
Not
Why
chocolate
does
though.
hot chocolate have caffeine?
Really?
You just made that up,
I'll
Jerry.
Google it.
Google
Maybe-
it.
It's as addictive,
Okay,
maybe.
two
as
2 mg per
Really?
100 grams. Yeah, which is very
of
little.
cacao.
Yeah, 2 mg.
Which is very little.
But still, I had no idea.
Decaf is what 15.
You could find
no,
caffeine
about two
in
as well.
in chocolate, in cocoa.
We learn something new every day.
Yeah, I did not know that. So what is it? The cocoa that has the caffeine?
Yeah, the cocoa has the caffeine inside.
That I did not know as well.
But it is okay. You can take your hot chocolate and have your mental health rest in between the hours in the day. That's perfectly fine. What we want to do is just to pace the brain, not to rev up and get so wired up and forget to have a break. So even toilet breaks. So I've heard of people not going to the toilet, holding it in because they have to complete the entire day. Now that's
Oh, no.
really, yeah.
Oh, my friends go to the toilet for a smoke break.
Okay.
They kill two birds with one stone.
Oh, okay. But it is true. I'm not encouraging people to smoke, but a lot of smokers use that to pace themselves through the day. Yep, so we can use that concept but not smoke. Go do something else.
Yeah, like breathe.
Meditate.
Yeah, look at trees and stuff like that.
Would exercising
no.
also give you a mental break? Exercising?
So that's combining that physical with the mental. Yeah, the whole idea about mental break, you don't need a long time. So physical, yes, you can do it. Physical has active and passive. So you can have a shut eye for about 10 minutes at your desk. And that's perfectly fine. In fact, one little girl was like, yesterday I was seeing her and she said, "Oh, I'm so tired sometimes doing my homework. I just close my eyes at the table." And
Which
that's
is okay.
The last time I closed my eyes at the table, my dad slapped me behind my head.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I was supposed to do homework, right? And like falling
Yeah,
asleep.
how often were you falling asleep though?
No, once only, I think.
Never again.
Okay, so parents, if you see your little kid doing that, don't slap them, just gently nudge them.
Nudge, right?
I think
Yeah.
so too. It's like you must have gotten
Parenting in
such a shock.
the olden days were a lot
In
different.
the olden days, hello. You're talking about the olden days
35, no.
to us.
Yeah, that's very different.
In the
Okay,
early 90s.
stand by. We're going for a traffic break.
Talking about psychological rest, and on the Big Show TV, you were talking us through the 7 types of rest, and I think we only got to number 2. Can you tell us a little bit more about physical and mental rest?
So physical, there's passive, active rest, and then mental. We encourage everybody to pace their day, to have a little tiny break every couple of hours. So those are the 2, and then we have sensory rest. Now, this is very important because so many of us are overstimulated in the day, from Zoom calls to gamings for kids, even the adults. Devices in front of me, I have like 3 devices already. So a lot of sensory stimulation.
Speaking of
So
all the
s-
devices in front of you, Jerry, any of the devices has the volume up? No, because
Yeah.
we're getting a little bit of an
Small
echo. Yeah.
No,
No,
but
huh?
I'm
Okay.
not hearing an echo.
Just
so
double
that's
checking.
good. I'm not distracted. Aha.
He's like, I don't care about you. Forget you and your echo.
I just received 100,000 WhatsApp messages.
That's right.
Doing like, I think the doctor has her laptop volume up.
She's like, I don't hear it, I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah, just lower a little bit your volume.
I will lower my volume a little bit more.
All right. Thank you so much.
Okay, so Dr. Jerry,
Thank you.
when you mentioned the types of rest, and then you just mentioned sensory rest. So is
Sensory rest.
sensory rest something we need sensorially to rest, or take a break from the sensory, like digital stuff that we have around us, like you mentioned?
So the concept is disengagement. So disengagement from all the stimuli that is hitting all your senses, whether it is visual sense, auditory sense, olfactory sense, and even tactile, because sometimes there's a lot of things going on. So disengagement. For those that are really having difficulty sleeping at night, what we encourage is not to look at your phone or any clock when you wake up in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because yes, there's so many people with their smartwatches and they wear it to track, their sleep.
Yeah.
And then the first thing they do is they tap so that they can see, but that is backlight that is hitting the sense in the dead of the night on a very sleepy brain. So
Yeah.
immediately you jolt the brain up again. So we often say, please don't do that. Throw away that watch, okay, not throw. Just put it aside and not touch it until the next morning.
Yeah, leave it outside, huh?
Yeah.
Don't even put your phone next to
Next
you,
to you,
actually.
yeah.
Just get a good old-fashioned clock.
Yeah, I like to cover my because I have two clocks obviously because we wake up so early and we want to make sure that we're actually up. But one of them is a digital clock, and I like to cover it because there's a light coming out from it,
Yes.
And I don't want to
Yes.
have to look at that clock and
Yeah.
see what time it is
Should
because it
get
doesn't
the
matter.
old-fashioned clocks.
I have one of
that
those as
have
well.
glowing arms.
Yeah, my little other one
Yeah.
run by battery has that.
Glowing hands, I
Glowing
beg your
hands,
pardon.
yeah. Arms are correct as well. Depends.
Yeah,
on
the
how big
longer one
clock
is the arm, the shorter one is the hand.
Correct. Okay, so that's a sensory one. What other
Sensory
types of
rest.
rest?
Yeah, so even sometimes, having a darkened room is wonderful. But for those that are depressed, we would always notice that the whole room is very black. So if parents notice that the whole room is very black, please tell your teens to open those curtains. But every so often, all of us can have a little bit of like that romantic ambience just to make us feel a bit more comfortable. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, they say that blackout curtains are really good, right?
I have blackout curtains.
Blackout curtains are very
I
good.
need blackout
fall
curtains.
asleep. Yes.
Yeah, ever since I started on the show, I found that these eye masks work really well for me.
I can't have anything on my face
Yeah,
like that.
no,
Yeah,
I
they're
thought I couldn't, but I mean, I've got these ones, and they really help me sleep
They're like blackout curtains for your face.
for my face. Yeah, and it really helps me get into a very deep sleep very quickly.
Yeah, there was one time I tried using the eye mask. I had this dream I was Batman.
You are vengeance.
I woke up tired.
Oh, because you
You
went
were
out the
saving
whole
the
night
world.
I was.
fighting crime the whole night.
I said no more. No more.
Okay.
Okay, we continue to talk to Jerry on the Big Show TV. Meantime, here's Peter Cetera. Glory of No,
Blindfolds.
doesn't count.
No, don't count. You can see through that.
Oh,
Oh, can you? Is
quite
it
a brave
lace
boy you
or-
are, huh?
No, only on Facebook. I didn't say it just now.
Quite a brave boy.
Did it come with fluffy handcuffs as well?
Oh, I mean, la 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 la.
Oh, no, what is this conversation going to?
We're waiting for you.
It
You know,
started.
Sean loves fluffy handcuffs.
It started with blindfolds.
fluffy socks.
I don't know where it's going, but let's go with something Sean has said earlier about
Bubbies.
the nature, the arts, the music. So that's creative break. So for many people who feel a bit stuck, they feel like they cannot progress in their work, they feel a bit stagnant, they cannot brainstorm, they have no more ideas. The best way is to go out in nature, breathe in the air, or just look at a painting, listen to wonderful music. So all the arts will kind of stimulate the brain in a really nice way. So it just tickles all your creativity.
Like a writer's block.
So when you have a writer's block, when you cannot think of anything for your proposal, when you cannot study anymore and you're at the desk, don't just sit there, look at a painting, don't go on your device and Google it. Really just go out and
Google painting.
yeah, you'll be surprised. They'll
Yeah.
go paint. Yeah, I know lah. Just go on the internet and look at it, No, really go and appreciate, a painting, a picture, the nature, the park, the greenery. Yeah, and that helps to clear the mind. That gives the brain a break. Then, all the creativity will start flowing.
And we have so many nice
Glenn is
parks
the
to
most
walk to.
creative now.
Sorry?
Glenn is the most creative now.
Why?
How come?
He had spent 5 days in nature.
In
playing
nature.
golf.
Taking a break. He sees trees
It's
more
not,
than any
it's
of
not
us.
exactly nature. It's
Actually,
like
it is.
man-made.
I saw a snake. I thought it was a cobra.
You saw monitor
I didn't go-
lizards, I'm
Monitor
sure.
lizards, plenty of them. Otters, they're so
They're
cute.
so
On the
cute, yeah.
course.
Just swimming in the water. Yeah, on the course.
Wow.
The swimming.
Iguanas.
Nice.
You know,
nice.
at Warren Country Club.
Yeah.
That is nature.
Monkeys.
That is nature.
That's
Yeah, when you
nature,
go when you play
That
at
is
Singapore Island
nature.
Country Club, there's so many
You get that as well.
monkeys there as well. Monkeys and and monitor lizards.
Do the monkeys come onto the course?
Oh my God, they're a
Really?
pain in the behind.
Come to your buggy.
I feel like
alright?
punching them sometimes, but I know I can't. I won't win.
They
you see.
will attack back.
They will,
yes,
they will.
they
They will
will. They're
attack.
vicious.
I will tell you a story if we have time about
Have.
monkeys later
Plenty
on.
of time.
Tell us now.
I'll tell you this very funny thing. Okay, I played in a charity event at Singapore Island Country Club, and so they all gave us some food bentos.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, so I didn't have time to eat the bento, so I put it behind, right, my buggy.
Yeah.
And these monkeys were just eyeing it.
They were
You know
waiting.
what I did? I was carrying my bento and going on the course, hitting the balls, putting it down, putting, and
Because they will come and take it.
yeah, I was protecting my bento
God, that's such a
while playing golf.
Yeah.
That is funny, but that's why you need to go out and experience all these. You will never experience all these if you just sit in a chair all day long.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Get out there. Get those creative juices flowing.
But can we dispel a myth? Because I think, still talking about sleeping and stuff like that, most people think having a drink or two before bed will help you
No.
to sleep. But that
It
is not
doesn't,
the
yeah.
case
No.
from the research I've done. It makes it even worse. Yes.
Yes.
You're like, how much does one bottle of wine keep me up at night?
Try and test it.
I mean, if you're one of those lucky ones, you have a drink or two and you fall off to sleep, that's just you.
It helps
but for
you
the
sleep,
but
yeah.
for the person who suffers from insomnia, it's just going to make things even worse.
Yeah.
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 Jerry?
And it dehydrates you, so it leaves you with a horrible hangover if you're not careful. Yeah. So, I mean, to each his own, the beverage of choice and the poison of choice.
Yeah, nice one. Hot chocolate or a bottle of wine?
Milk, cold milk for me. I mean, it still contains tryptophan, right? So milk has
Yep.
always worked for me. But that again is the
You.
individual.
It's individual. Yeah, it's individual.
Individual. The second Glenn said milk, I went, oh no, lactose intolerance, and I think of my bloated stomach.
Oh dear.
Do you know that up to 100% of people in Asia are lactose intolerant, and yet we still drink milk
It's
and
just
eat dairy?
conditioning, Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's not conditioning. We are lactose intolerant.
No, we are lactose intolerant.
Yeah.
It's just conditioning that we think
That
milk is necessary for
It's
us.
good for us and
But
all
what-
that. Yeah.
Okay. I know I'm not lactose intolerant, right? Because if not, I'll suffer after drinking milk.
Not to that extent.
Yeah, maybe,
a
but I
small
think
level.
a small little bit. I mean, people get a little bit of a
Bloated.
grumbly tummy. They get bloated. Different people react differently, but up to 100%, not every single person.
Okay.
So maybe you're part of the small one, or maybe you've just gotten, like Sean said,
Yeah.
used to it, and your body's like, you
is
don't
how I
realize
function
that
now.
this is what is related to that. Yeah. So okay,
Fair
sorry,
enough.
Jerry.
No worries, but this is why, people tuning in today are having rest, because we provide emotional rest. We talk about things that are congruent to our emotions. Oops, I almost dropped my mic.
Don't get emotional now.
Yeah.
Even when you almost drop your mic, you're so cute.
But yes, sometimes, at the workplace, in schools, we hear this all the time. I cannot be myself. I need to rein in everything. I have to just, pull all my energy to just behave myself, to be, poised, or to act matured. And then when do we just let out and say, actually, I do feel like I'm having a crummy day, or I feel horrible? Who can we express it to? Where can we express? How can we express? So having that outlet becomes very important for emotional rest, to finally let it go.
So would journaling be a good outlet for emotional relief?
So that is good, but that is you and the book.
A book,
So it's
yeah.
it's very solo. The next rest would be social rest, not social networking, but social rest. Just hanging out with the boys, hanging out with the girls, hanging out with friends. So there you can decompress with them, be yourself. So a lot of times, you hear people say, "I cannot be myself." So look for people that you can be yourself. And that also provides another sort of social rest where you disengage from toxic people.
But for some people who are socially active all the time, like us here, we're very, very socially active. We would also need a break from being socially active, right?
Yep. So just taking a break and not having any sort of gathering can also help you to recharge a little bit. But you need to know how much you need, because it cannot be too much. Sometimes you need a certain amount to energize yourself. So some people don't need a lot of break
Okay.
time or social break.
All right, hold on, Jerry.
5, 4, back to traffic.
Talking about psychological rest, going through the 7 different types of rest. There's physical, mental, sensory, creative, emotional, and we were just touching on social rest, Dr. Jerry.
Yep, hanging out with friends or not hanging out at all, or really just removing yourself from very toxic people. So one of those times, or one of the things that when people come in and say, I've got toxic colleagues, I can't do my work, but I really love the work that I do, sometimes we send them on a vacation. So when they come back, they feel more regenerated or rejuvenized to then deal with the situation at work.
What about people who can't get away from sort of emotional situations or social situations, like, for example, living with someone who's emotionally abusive or toxic, How do they deal with that?
If somebody is abusing you, the logical thing is please seek for help. But there are times when it is very trying. So caregivers of terminally ill people can feel very exhausted. They feel that they are there 24/7. So what we always encourage them is to go out, have their own timing. So they still need a social break from the person. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
To do their own things. Yeah.
Okay.
I think one of the most psychologically draining situations would be people coping with a loss or a breakup, perhaps.
heartbreak, yeah.
Right, a heartbreak. How what kind of advice would you give to people like that? Okay, let's just take heartbreak, because many people feel they're in love and then everything kind of falls apart, and
It's the end of the world.
it's the
It
end of the
affects you,
world,
yeah.
and some people take longer to get over broken relationships. What advice do you have for people like that?
So the emotions are there swirling in their minds. I would say to take a sensory break from all the social media. I don't know what is it with the couples nowadays. They would still be each other's friends on like Facebook, on IG, on Telegram. I'm like, just cut it already, just
No, we mute
block
them. We
the
don't block
person.
them. We
Yeah, is
mute
there a
them,
reason
yeah.
why?
What do you mean
Sean's
when
trying
people
to
are broken
clear.
up, why they're still connected?
Yeah, why
On
are they still
socials?
connected?
So we can
right?
find out who the other person is with, and whether that person that other person is with is better than me or not.
But that's socially that's emotionally
You see-
draining on you.
See, sometimes
Nobody else.
I don't know whether
I mean-
Sean is joking or whether he's serious,
No, I'm
whether he's
reflecting what the
No, but-
millennials.
but you're
feel.
honest.
Yeah, this is what the millennials do.
And you could stay
Yeah,
connected?
I won't do it, but
Okay.
this is what my friends do.
See, I don't understand that, Jerry, and I don't think
No.
Angel understands that
No,
as well.
I cut ties.
Yeah, I cut ties as well.
Yeah, unless I'm still friends with that person, like real friends, and it wasn't a heartbreak, then it's
Yeah.
fine. But if it's a heartbreak,
I don't even want to know what you're doing anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I
You
mean?
move on very fast.
And, but
Yeah,
but
we do
did you
move
hear
on.
what Sean just said? He wants
Yep.
to find out if if
Not
the,
me,
No,
but
he-
like my friends.
Oh,
lah.
okay.
speaking on behalf of the millennials.
Yes, this is what we do. I mean, not we, but
Oh, would you? Would you?
me.
Oh,
No, personally,
you
I'm
you would
not-
cut it off
yeah,
as well.
I'm all that way.
Okay.
I move on.
Okay.
So why do
you're
people
not
do
giving
that?
your brain a break at all. You're not giving your mind that rest it needs. You know, it needs to heal. If it needs to heal, it needs rest. But in staying connected, in going back and finding out certain things, you're not giving your brain that break at all. So I cannot understand. The first thing I tell them is, please cut off all ties, cut off all social media. And they go, huh? I say, yeah, can you please do that? And
Yeah.
the worst of all, some of them still maintain and go, oh, but I still am in contact. I still have lunch with him or her. I go like, well, aren't you broken up? Yeah, but we think we want to remain friends. Okay, but then every time you see the person,
You
know,
get
the
upset.
emotions come back. How do you get a break at all? It's not a
But
break.
It's not. I guess for us, like us growing up, it would have been the equivalent of burning their clothes and photographs, right? Cutting off all ties. Like, I mean, when you say
burn?
cut off all ties, you throw away everything that's connected to that person, right? Whether they have clothes in your cupboard, toothpaste,
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
toothbrushes and stuff. Like same thing as social media, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's your cutoff.
Block, we call them.
That
block
was
them,
that was our way of
Yep.
blocking. But some people can remain friends. So if that's the case, then it's okay, right?
Yeah. So if they can remain friends, but trust me, those that I see, they
Cannot.
every time you see, they're in pieces afterwards. That's not remaining friends.
Yeah, how do you remain friends, actually?
Hard, very hard. Especially if you guys were very close or
Yeah.
you stay nearby or something like that, and you always go to the same like
Places,
bar, restaurant, and
or if
always
you
see
share
them.
friends.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
yes.
that's the
And then
worst, right?
your friends have to choose
True.
which side you have to go on.
Yeah, that's the
Wow.
worst. If you share friends, share a pet.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know,
it's
that's
But there are
That's a-
cases. There are cases where exes remain close.
Yes, exactly. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. There are.
like
You know?
divorce
Friends with
family,
benefits
right?
thing.
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think
Also
they have
have-
any benefits.
there's also
Okay,
that.
now we're veering off
Okay,
our
sorry
actual
about
topic. Okay. We have one more type of rest that we're going to speak about.
Okay, Facebook question time. Sean?
Molly has a question for Dr. Jerry. Molly's asking, how do I deal with a toxic neighbor?
Oh.
Oh dear. It's in, shouting at you and throwing like water at your door sort of neighbor.
We can
I
wait
don't
for Molly
know.
to like give us a bit more information and
Yeah.
see.
Yeah. Tell us the
Because-
details,
yeah.
Molly.
Because I mean, I think we've all been through a situation
Oh, yeah?
like that, or
Horrible
seen it,
neighbors.
at least.
Horrible
Horrible
neighbors.
neighbors.
Didn't they make a movie out of that?
Bad neighbors.
Bad neighbors, that's the
Oh,
one.
so much fun.
Zac
That
Efron,
movie.
I
So
love
much
that.
fun.
Yeah.
So much fun. Okay, we better talk about this on the Big Show TV
Yeah.
because I may use vulgarity.
Yeah, and Holly or Molly, don't put your address,
Molly,
yeah?
Molly,
Molly,
Yeah.
okay?
Here's Michael Jackson, Smooth Criminal.
We'll wait for Molly to give us
but
more
there's nothing
details about
worse
bad
than,
neighbors.
than bad neighbors, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh my
Inconsiderate ones.
goodness.
For sure. So how does one deal with people like bad neighbors whom you obviously cannot move away from?
Ignore them. I say ignore them completely.
That is one way. But it also depends, if the neighbor is knocking all the time, if the neighbor is shouting expletives at you, or then maybe not.
Wow, that's another level. That one I'll fight, no?
Then call the police.
I will fight. Which is
Yeah.
not good. Which is not good.
Yeah, don't. You shouldn't like.
What about those neighbors that are
overstep.
just constantly noisy? I used to live below someone who constantly dragged the chair across the
So
floor.
inconsiderate,
oh my
right?
gosh.
Below some?
No, above.
Oh, okay.
They used to just drag.
So
or like,
what's up with that?
Sometimes it's not.
marbles.
Sometimes it's not them. It's like pipes and stuff. That
What do
we
you mean
feel
it's
is coming
pipes?
from. Yeah, really.
What do you mean?
You hear like marbles,
no,
right?
no, dragging. This is like
There's
dragging.
actual
a
dragging.
chair.
But marbles, yes, we've heard
Yeah,
about
yeah.
that.
Yeah,
That's
but-
pipes.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah. So it's not like someone every
So
house is
everyone
dropping
hears
marbles.
marbles
Like
at
something
some
dropping,
point or
yeah.
other, especially in HDB,
Yes.
right?
So
Yes.
it's actually what? A pipe?
Pipes.
Pipes.
Sound
That
coming
sounds
from
like
the pipes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
I
you don't
didn't
go
know
up and
that.
start a fight just because of marbles.
And like bang the broom against the
That's
floor.
right.
So there you go. If you're watching us right now and you've been thinking, what's up? Who plays
those
with marbles
marbles.
anymore?
That's right.
I had no idea. Okay, but chair dragging is terribly
Chair.
inconsiderate.
Yes, so
Do you
you can
confront
tell
them,
them.
Dr. Jerry?
No, we tell them nicely. Let's not
How?
confront them. Well, say hello first.
Say have more manners and lift your chair if you're going to move it.
Yeah, Yeah, that you can hear the chair. Sometimes they don't know, right? Or sometimes it's a little kid that does that.
Common
because-
sense, though.
Kids, yeah.
No,
actually
but
kids.
if it's a little kid, if it's a 3-4-year-old
Teach your child.
that cannot lift,
Then don't be playing with the chairs.
Then don't
That's
have
what
kids, wow.
I'd be like, put like some socks under the chairs.
This
They
from
have
someone who has
That's
kids,
Yeah.
you know.
That's
oh
right.
no, that's why my children never drag the
Which is
chairs.
great.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Absolutely not.
Sometimes I bite my tongue because you know what? I have no kids.
cannot
I
see
don't want
it.
people to go like, "Oh, Glenn hates children."
No.
I really don't hate children.
Yeah, but you teach your children manners.
Yes, please, parents,
we do.
please teach
Yes,
them.
Right, I mean, Dr.
manners.
Jerry, you have children, and you would not allow, if your kids cannot lift the weight of a chair, you just wouldn't allow them to move it, right?
yes, they
There
get
you
scolded
go.
for dragging the chair.
There you
But
go.
yes, for those out there, I think Angel, you mentioned chairs have socks. So go get some.
They do. I think I saw them at Daiso. You can put them underneath.
Hey, that works.
That's
Yeah,
a good
and
idea.
better
Yeah.
even get now because Daiso gonna increase their prices.
Yeah, after the GST.
Yeah, so now $2 and it's still go.
Okay, so we
Yes.
touched on
And
so
the last
many.
one.
The last one,
Yes.
spiritual.
Spiritual. So spiritual is you have your religion, you have your meditation, basically calm and safe spaces for the person. Reflective spaces. Many people like to go on things like Vipassana, retreats. So we have many people that love holidays like that.
Yeah, they
Very
do.
spiritual, very calm, being with the self, finding the self.
Yeah, I've got a friend in Koh Samui who just went on a retreat for yoga and detoxing and all that. I think he's there for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think
So
it's very powerful.
It is, yeah.
Spiritual,
It is.
very, very powerful.
Yeah, and we're not speaking about religion. We're just talking
Yeah.
about like being with yourself and nature.
Yeah.
And,
But I mean, even if we talk about faith,
even
it's
if it
very,
is-
very powerful.
Yes.
Of course, I mean, don't be like that guy who went, who is on the plane. Did you read?
No?
Did you read about?
one singing?
Yeah, the
No.
one.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Well-
He kind of like creeped everyone out.
I didn't
That's-
hear
that's
about
too
this.
much.
What is this?
So okay,
I
you,
think
you tell the story.
If I remember correctly, they were on a plane. I
Jet
don't know.
Jetstar.
Oh, regionally here.
Yes.
Okay,
Here.
okay.
So a
And-
guy took out his guitar and started praise and worship.
Yeah,
For the whole plane.
Oh, still.
Oh,
Yeah, you can't impose
Yep.
that on everyone
and there
else.
was some believers who actually stood up,
Which is
to
great.
join in. But imagine you're on the plane.
You have other religions that
Yeah,
that
that's
are
not
there.
tolerant.
That's not
Exactly.
cool. Yeah, he should
It
just play
costs
it like
headphones.
he should have just played like "Sweet Child of Mine" or something. Everyone would have got up and danced there.
That's also praise and worship.
So once again, I mean, we need to be
Mindful. I think, yeah.
very mindful of our surroundings.
Yeah.
You know.
And I think just basically treating people and your surroundings as you would want to be treated.
Yeah. Yeah, which is why I always say, right? Pray for wisdom.
Amen to
And
that.
common sense.
If that guy had prayed for wisdom, he
would
wouldn't
know.
have done
Yeah.
what he did.
I didn't read about that.
There's a place and time.
in that moment, maybe he
Ecclesiastes.
was just in that moment and he was very inspired, So
By the clouds. He looked out of the window.
Closer to, yeah. Okay. So what? So we speak anything from Facebook, Sean?
Yeah, so Molly
Molly,
replied.
okay.
There are two questions, so we'll deal with Molly's first. Molly says, "Oh well, we have town councils help, and occasionally they still will not comply with the regulations." She's talking about her toxic
Neighbour.
neighbors. All started because they wanted to occupy space outside the common unit to hang their laundry and wanted us to remove our plants to accommodate them.
Oh.
These kind of people.
What?
You know why? And the argument will be plants are not allowed.
Are they not?
They're not.
What do you mean plants are not
Plants
allowed?
are not allowed.
Technically, HDB
Yes.
So, but then people who have plants outside?
It's okay as long as no one complains.
Oh, but then you have HDB people walking around all the time. How come they don't
They
tell you
close
to?
an eye.
Oh, because nobody has
Yes.
complained.
Yes.
Oh, I think that's so sad.
but
Plants should
but
be
the
allowed.
rule is you're not allowed to put anything in the corridor.
And
And you're not supposed to dry clothes in the corridor either.
No,
so
I mean drying clothes
Yeah.
is like ridiculous. Yeah.
That's behind the block where they put
Yeah.
the stuff for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh, boy.
if we are looking at neighbors have that give and take, little unspoken rule. So what is that compromise that both can come to, you see? I mean, both are wrong. Both
Yeah.
cannot put anything on at the corridor anyways, right? Whether it is laundry or whether it's the plants. And as human beings, we do feel a little bit territorial with our space because it is our space and we don't want anyone to come kind of encroach. So what is that compromise between the two? I think that is a very, very delicate thing, and also depends on the other neighbor, how their attitude, how their approach is, which also would either trigger us or calm us down, right? Yeah, so that one is a difficult one.
Yeah, I think in whatever we do, we need to be considerate.
Yeah.
You know, we need to think about the people around us.
I mean, for a situation like that, it sounds like a give and take type of situation, you know? If you're going to be putting your clothes out, then that other person should be allowed to put their plants out, and you shouldn't have to clear your plants just to make way for their clothes. So there needs to be a line drawn, I guess, for them to come to some sort of compromise.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
that will be
tough one.
$5, Molly. $5 for therapy today.
$5. Jerry's pay now is her number. No, that's too little. $5.
Put it in the chat.
Okay, Dr. Jerry, so what are the three things
We're going
we
back
can
on
do?
answers.
Okay, all right.
I mean, we've got Dr. Geraldine Tan from the therapy room with us right now. And, I mean, speaking of dying and all that, Shaun, you said the next question
It's about death.
concerns death?
Yes, Dr. Jerry, Eileen has a question for you. She's asking, is it normal for teens, about 12 to 14 years old, who just lost their father, someone whom they're very close to, and is it normal for them to bottle up their feelings? They didn't even cry during the funeral, and now they're just avoiding anything to do with their father. Their faces turn blank whenever I talk to them about their father. I'm so scared that one of them might break down one day.
Aww.
What can I do? Eileen is asking.
Tough one for the mummy, right? So all of us cope with death and dying very, very differently. They being a bit more aware in the adolescent years would know what it means to lose a father or lose a parent. So they are trying to cope with their emotions. They're trying not to feel, but they do need to talk about it. At some point, they will need what we spoke about earlier, the emotional rest, to be able to release that so that it becomes very cathartic for them if they are able to do that. But they need to do it in their time.
Yeah.
Sometimes as parents, we try to rush the process, but the process cannot be rushed. We can only let them know that we are here for them. We permit ourselves to emote. Sometimes children want to protect the living parent. That means the parent that is still around. They don't want the parent to cry. They don't want to see the parent's heartbreak. So they then rein in their own emotions. So what we can do is not to hide our emotions, not to overcompensate either, but to permit that avenue for the children to say at any point in time, you can either talk to mommy or you can talk to and you can name the resources that are around them and permit them to do so.
That's right. But as friends, we shouldn't be forcing people to emote either.
That's true.
Right? Because as you mentioned early on, they will do it at their own time.
Yep. They will do it at their own time. We can be there for them. We can eat with them. We can sit with them. We can do activities with them. But we do not intrude into their space of grief.
What if, like Eileen says, she's afraid that they might break down? I mean, is there a way of preventing that from happening? Is there a way of turning that breakdown into something that could be positive, maybe, the other way around where they don't break down?
Yep. So the whole grieving process is a process because there are different ways of doing it. It's not just talking about it. They can write letters to daddy. They can, help to pack certain little memories of daddy for themselves. Each one can take one item. But it really depends. It doesn't mean that it is one size fit all. It has to be an individual. So every individual child have different things that they want to do. But we can facilitate, we can encourage. Yeah.
Must be so difficult.
Karaoke, I see. Karaoke helps.
Well,
if they like singing.
Singing
Express
definitely
yourself,
helps.
express
Music
yourself.
helps.
But don't do the karaoke at home then. Because you're grieving and you're singing all these songs.
Then you irritate the neighbors.
Exactly.
Yeah, then
So
it becomes
go-
another
Unless you
situation.
sound-
Go
Move
to
your
some
room.
karaoke place.
Okay, and
Now,
leave
today-
your mask on. Today
today's the
everything
day
opens.
open.
Today
So you can go
everything
to
opens.
any
Yes! Today everyone is going out to party. Well, not everyone.
Everyone, no, I'm
Actually,
not.
it's still quite inconvenient, no?
It is. So you have to have a supervised
Yes.
ART test. It's got to be valid from 24 hours
And
from
you
the
have to
time
dance
of
with a
test.
mask on.
You have to dance with a mask on. You have to sing with a mask on. So there's no spontaneity there. So still quite. But I mean, it's a step in the right direction.
I guess.
Slowly,
Yeah.
baby steps
Towards opening up, huh?
Towards opening
Yeah,
up.
but this
Yeah.
is still different from going down to a place and watching a performance. That's okay, right?
That is
Like,
okay,
I mean,
yes,
if you're going
yes.
down to Timber or we're going
'Cause
down
you're
to
keeping
Simply
your mask
Jazz
on.
or Simply Retro,
Yeah.
that's okay.
That's
you don't
okay.
have to take a
No,
test.
I think
Unless you have food and drink or you're eating and drinking.
no. The test is only for places where you can dance and sing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So the clubs.
The clubs,
Clubs,
yeah.
nightclubs.
Nightclubs. And at the nightclubs and karaoke's, you keep it on unless you're eating and drinking. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so Dr. Jerry, any final words with what we can do in terms of
Huh? So fast? It's time to go.
psychological rest?
She has a client in like 10 minutes.
Oh, I see. Okay.
We need to let her go now. Well, you need to emotionally release yourself.
Let her go. Let her go.
That's the one.
Ayo. Okay. So for everyone that is tuning in, 3 things that you can try today. Take toilet breaks, pantry breaks throughout the day. You're given permission to do that. Yay! And I love this one that one of my clients fed back to me yesterday that is really useful for her. Just 10-minute mental health walk. So if you're having a very hard time at work or studying, just go and take a 10-minute mental health walk. That's all you need. And you come back feeling a little bit more refreshed. And no reaching for your gadgets after you sleep. So just these 3 things. See if you can do that and how it's going to help you rest. And the last final word from Rumi. And Rumi says, listen to silence. It has so much to say.
Oh, I love that.
Hey, what about meditation?
Meditation? What about it?
Yeah. I mean, we can meditate.
Absolutely, meditation works.
Meditation
Yeah,
is good
it's really
stuff.
good. Yeah.
If you know how to do it.
A lot of people say I don't want to meditate because I don't want to do it, but that's exactly why you learn how to do it, right?
Yeah.
It's a very tough thing to master, to keep your mind
Yep.
quiet.
We just do
That's
simple
very
meditation.
correct.
Meditation can
As
be
in-
counting your steps as you walk as well.
No, I don't like
it
doing
can be
that.
breathing as
I
well.
rather it's like
Mindfulness.
close your eyes and just be silent. Just keep it simple,
You can, yeah.
silent,
Yeah,
and,
that's okay as
and
well.
just focus on one word.
Yes, if
So
you're
that's what I've been
able
do-
to do that, then
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Just like close your eyes, right? And then just think money.
Yes,
Or whatever.
that is also an
No, hey, that's
affirmation.
good, yeah,
That's
man.
also an affirmation.
Money come,
Or
money come,
Yeah,
money
money
come.
close your
Come on,
eyes and
come on.
just think no fear, right?
Keep the word no.
Yeah.
Keep the word out.
Oh,
All bravery.
brave.
Brave. There you go. Keep
But
the
don't
word
die.
no out.
But
no,
don't die.
then you have the word don't in there. It's also negative. Yeah.
Because I always say, be brave.
Brave and
But
survive.
don't die.
But
Brave
don't
and
die.
survive. Okay, all right.
Thank you, Dr. Jerry.
Hold on. Is Jerry
Molly
still
says
there?
that- yes,
Okay,
She's still
okay.
here,
Yeah,
she's
she was
still here,
still there.
yeah.
Very still.
Molly says thank you, by the way.
Okay. Molly says
Bye.
thank you.
I'll see all of you next week.
See you, Jerry.
See you next week, Dr. Jerry.
Bye.
All right.